and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 326 and I have a few finished objects. The first thing I'm going to show you is this. I finished plying the yarn. I have two. This is what I had before. This is what I plied this week. I did do a plying tutorial on Wednesday. If you missed it, you can click the link right here and that will take you over to it. But all together, I weighed this out and there are 215 grams of yarn, which doesn't look like much. This is fingering weight, and fingering weight usually is around 400 yards per 100 gram. So I have 215, which means technically I have a little over 800 yards. But this is rolled pretty tightly because when I pulled it off the bobbin, I was winding it fairly tight. So yeah, if that's the truth, if it comes out right, I've got about 800 yards between the two of these. So that is my first finished object. My second finished object has nothing to do with fiber. We had Ladies' Fellowship at church this week and we had a craft night. So I'm not very crafty when it comes to things outside of knitting and crochet and spit. Fiber stuff I'm great with. Other stuff, not so much. Anyway, here we go. Yes, this is a soup can. Actually, I think it was a green bean can. I didn't eat the green beans because you know I don't like vegetables. But anyway, it was a green bean can. And then I painted it. And then you use Mod Podge, which is sort of like a Elmer's glue type of stuff. And I put fabric around it. Now everybody else decorated theirs really cute and made the handle here, because you can see it has a little wire handle, all curly Q-y, and put flowers in it. I did none of those things. Actually, I'm going to add, I didn't put flowers on it there because I have some little blue hydrangeas that I'm going to put here. And I knew I had them at home. And that it would kind of match my decor. I'm thinking this is going to sit on my sewing desk to hold like scissors and stuff like that. Or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I did put a handle so that if I do want to hang it off of something, I can do so. So yeah, there's that. And then we also made these coasters. This is like a wrapping paper, and this is like your coaster that you would get from Home Depot or whatever. And to do this, you actually, you took sandpaper and roughed up the surface of the 4x4 tile. And then you put that Mod Podge gluey stuff on it. And then you put wrapping paper on top. And then, actually this wasn't wrapping paper, this was scrapbook paper. My daughter actually made a set of 4 of these a couple years ago with Christmas carols on them. With like the sheet music for Joy to the World, I think. But anyway, you put the gluey stuff on it after you've roughed up the surface, and then you put the scrapbook paper on it, and you cut it by 4" by 4" square, and then you put more of that Mod Podge stuff, and then you finally spray it with like a, it's not varnish, but it's some kind of a sealant that you put on afterwards so that if you put a coaster on and it drips, it's not going to make everything bubble up. So here is what it looked like. Nothing fancy, but my house is all yellow and blue, so blue and white. So that's what those were my finished objects. Now my works in progress. It's all about the sleeves this week because my crocheted project, I finished the back, well actually the front, because remember I started with what I thought was going to be a front and I turned it into the back because I wanted the front to have a little bit more yardage than the back. So you can see last week I was right at the V of the neck. I did not put a huge V in the neck because I don't like low cut fronts. So this one comes to like right about here. And I've already sewn it together or seamed it together, and I haven't flipped it inside out. So you can see where my seam is right here. I just kind of did a loopy all the way around, and I did the same going down the sides. So right now I have a crocheted vest, and it does fit over my head. I tested it. Apparently, little head, little brain. I don't know. It looks kind of small, but it does, I believe, fit. Yeah, we will make it fit. So we're good. So, yeah, so there's the armholes. I just need to do the sleeves for this. So I am hoping to have this finished. Oh, and this matches nice. I'm wearing a pair of blue jeans, and this actually matches perfect with the blue jeans. Let me show you. Look how perfect the color goes. Ah, there we go. And I made it a little wider, you can see in the front, to cover the, yeah, hips and other parts. So that is my crocheted project. So like I said, just the sleeves to do on it. And then, and I made this so it's just, it's not like tunic. I like my shirts to come to like just below my waist, like right at the top of my hips, because if I wear them with a skirt, I don't like long shirts. I'm short, I'm 5'4", so if I wear tunic style shirts, it makes me look stubby. It just doesn't, it is not flattering. So that is that project. And then we have the same with the color work. I have finished the color work. As far as the sweater goes, it almost looks like it's done now, but it actually is not, because I have to pick up the stitches on the sleeves and do the sleeves yet. So that will be this week's project. So both of the sweaters I'm making, both the crochet and the knitted, are down to just the sleeves. Now this one, I did modify the bottom a little bit. I decided I wanted it to look pretty. So I did, see if I can hold this up well. It does need to be blocked because it's wanting to curl. I did a fans and feathers pattern. It's also known as old shale. And then I noticed it curling, which it still is doing, but not as bad as it was. So let me try hold this upside down so it doesn't curl. I actually, there you can see the pattern a little bit better. There you can see the pattern. And I actually crocheted a single crochet, and then I did a double crochet all the way around, and I kind of made it emphasize some of the points of the fans and feathers. So that is what the bottom looks like. And I am probably not going to do that to the sleeves, only because it's so busy up here that if I, let me hold this up here. I'm afraid if I put busy sleeves, busy pattern here, it's going to be too much. So I think I'm just going to go with the straight cuffs so that it matches the neckline here. So that is that project. And this is funny because this is of course knitted, and this material is a linen, silk, and merino blend. This is a cotton blend. This is at least twice as heavy as this, and you can see just the bulk of it because crochet is bulkier than knitting is. So yeah, anyway, just kind of interesting to be able to compare apples with apples as far as two sweaters that don't have the sleeves attached to see what the difference is in weight. So we have that, and then I started another project because I wanted something small to kind of work on in between, as if the sleeves aren't going to be small. I started on a pair of socks. The yarn I am using is called Lana Loft Sport Weight. There you go. It is a sport weight, and it is spun and dyed by Brown Sheep Company, which is from Mitchell, Nebraska. The color is called Cherry Splash, so I'll show it to you in a minute. And it says hand wash, lukewarm water, lay flat to dry. It is 100% wool, and it is moth proofed. I have no idea what that means. Well, I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know how they make it moth proofed. It is a 50-gram ball, and there's 145 yards or 133 meters per skein. So here is what the yarn looks like. It is a tonal cherry red. And like I said, it's a sport weight. And here is how far I have gotten so far. I just started these last night. So there you go, you can see that. So yeah, it looks like the ankle part is very these are not going up my legs. This is just ankle socks. So the ankles I made based on measurements because I want it to be snug around my ankles. My ankles are 9 inches around, and I was getting about 6 stitches to the inch. I'm not using a pattern. 6 stitches to the inch. So I made the and because ribbing is very stretchy, I put 54 stitches on, and then once I started below the ribbing, so this would be just before it goes down to my foot itself, I'm going to do about an inch of just stockinette stitch, and I did go up 10 more stitches, so I'm up to 64 going around. So I am using double pointed needles. Looks like bionic hand or something, doesn't it? Yeah, anyway, I'm using double pointed needles, but once I get past the heel of this footsie sock, then I will put it on a larger needle, and circular needle, and then I will make a second one. And once I get past the heels, I'll be doing them 2 at a time, just because it's faster and I can make sure that the socks are the same length. But I don't tend to do that. I've done it in the past where I started them both as 2 at a time socks, and then I end up taking them off when I get to the heel and putting them back on again. No, I think I'm just going to do it with the double pointed needles until I get past the heel, and then put them onto the sock or the singular circular needle and do 2 at a time. So I am using Knit Picks US 2s, which is a 2.75 millimeter double pointed needles is what I am using. So that is what I am working on this week. What have you been working on? Now, if you would like to submit things to Show and Tell, you can do so. All you need to do is either send me a picture in email with a little bit of information. My email address is KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, or you can post directly on my Facebook page, which is Katrina Knits, or you can message me over there as well. Either way, and I will see it, and just tell me a little bit about it, and we'll go from there, and you will show up in Show and Tell. We love to see each other's projects, so yes, please send pictures. I like to see them. So that is our Show and Tell for this week. So what am I reading? I just finished, in fact I stayed up till 1:15 this morning, finishing Aunt Dimity and the Deep Blue Sea. This one was really good. Takes place on a remote island because her husband has, the main character's name is Laurie Shepherd, and her husband and their family have received death threats. He's a lawyer, and so she is taken by a friend of the family to go hang out on a remote island up in Scotland. Yeah, like near the Hebrides, I think, up that direction. It's a, I looked it up and I don't think it's a real island. It's not based on a real island. But anyway, it goes on. There's like secret passages in the castle where they're staying, and the villagers are up to possibly no good, and she's investigating, and yeah, it was good. So yeah, I really got into this one. I enjoyed it. So the next one in the series that I'm going to be reading is Aunt Dimity Slays the Dragon. And this series is by Nancy Atherton. And yeah, I have enjoyed them very much so far. The main character lives in a small Cotswold neighborhood, little village or whatever, in the Cotswolds of the UK. And that's where the story, a lot of the story takes place, and then other places like Scottish castles. So yeah, so I haven't even started this one. So yeah, that'll be tonight's event. So that is what I'm reading. I will put links to those if you want to check out that series. Down under the Amazon link, look under the Cozy Mysteries. I do have a section as well for Cozy Mysteries that are yarn related, and I enjoy reading those, but I have caught up on all of my authors that I follow right now. And so in between reading Cozy Mysteries that are yarn related, I read other ones. So if you want to check out those books, I will put links down below under the Amazon store. So upcoming videos this week. On Tuesday, we have another Katrina Clutter Free, which is my organizing videos, and I am going to be organizing my tea cabinet. I never realized how much tea I had until I got started doing that. So anyway, yes, but one loves her tea. So yes, iced tea and hot tea, and no green tea. I don't like green tea. Yes, reminds me of drinking something that's been strained through grass clippings, so we don't do that. Anyway, yes, that is Tuesday's video. And Wednesday's video is going to be a knitting related video. So we will be talking about how to pick up these sleeves, or these stitches, and as well as the underarm section, you need to pick up stitches there. So that will be Tuesday's tutorial. Now it's time for, now in our Come and Get It section, if you are watching this before 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can partake of this sale. If you're watching this after 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, forget it because the sale's over with. They are running a sale for skeins of just over select yarns. It's not on all of the yarn. 4 skeins for $20. Yes, all you need to do is click on the link below, and I will put in there specifically it's before 9 a.m. In order to get this, but you don't need coupon code or anything. Just make sure you pick from those selected yarns. You can mix and match, but as you get multiples of 4, the discount will apply. So it's 4 skeins for $20, which means you're getting a skein of yarn for $5. And they had some yarns in there they showed what the original prices were. Some were good deals, some were deals, but yeah, some of them were pretty good. So anyway, if you want to check that out, if you're an early bird and have gotten up early this morning, you could still get that sale. So Otherwise, the other link for Lion Brand will just take you over to their regular site, because I don't know what sale they'll be running when I'm filming this, which is Friday afternoon. Lovecrafts. Lovecrafts is running, and I don't know how long the sale lasts, but they are running up to 70% off of their clearance. So that's all different types of crafts, but it's also yarn. And so I will put the link to all of the sales that I'm talking about down below, and you can just click that link and it should take you right over to the yarn in the right order, because I usually click on the clearance, then I click yarn, and then I click lowest price first, because you know I'm cheap. It's plastered on my forehead, so we go for cheap first. So that tends to be how I list things down below in the links. So that is Lovecrafts. Knit Picks. If you like sock knitting, they are running, and this runs until May 2nd. They are running 10 to 30% off of their sock yarn, which is a pretty good deal, because Knit Picks carries Felici yarn. Yeah, they have some nice stuff over there. And so that link is down below as well. So it's 10 to 30% off their sock yarns. Mary Maxim, I went over and checked their clearance section, and they have yarn starting at $1.99. So yeah, that one was pretty good. I also checked Annie's, and I went to the clearance section, and then I had, well, actually I went to Annie's and I went to the yarn section, and then I went price lowest to more expensive. And the lowest stuff, they actually have King Cole, which is Annie's brand of yarn. Their big value, super chunky yarn for $3.29 a skein, which is really good for super chunky. They also have Paytons or Patons, depending on how you pronounce it. They have Patons Astra DK for $3.78. They also have Lion Brand Mandala yarn right now for $5.98, which is a sale because I think it normally runs $6.99 or $7.99. So they have it for $5.98 right now. And they also have, this is a neat yarn. I've used it once before, and it's Premier Bloom in DK. It's for $5.49. What it is, it's not self-striping, but when you knit it up, I don't think it shows up the same if you crochet it, but if you knit it, it automatically makes it look as if it's little flowers. It's kind of neat the way they have it done. So that's why it's called Premier Bloom, because it kind of looks like a cross between Fair Isle automatically, though just the way the color pulls together, right? But it also kind of looks like little flowers. So it's neat. So that is over at Annie's. So like I said, all of the links are down below. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please click that little red subscribe button down below, and the little bell-shaped icon next to it will let you know anytime I post a video. And please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. We are only 25 people away from our next giveaway, so if you haven't, make sure you get the little red button down there so you can be included in that giveaway once we have that. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.